Hi everybody! In today's video we'll begin looking at aqueous substances and solutions, and get into a couple of new units of measurement. Let's get to it. Our goals for today are to start with a quick review of aqueous substances and solutions. Then we'll look briefly at the two main ways of measuring concentration of dissolved substances within a solution, and finally we'll practice doing some volume to mole conversion with the first one, which is molarity. You'll hopefully remember that an aqueous substance is any substance dissolved in a liquid. That liquid is usually water, but there are other substances that can dissolve solids, such as ethanol. Aqueous substances are very important in chemistry, and the world in general, and they are one of the most common forms of reactants that we see in the lab. Unfortunately, aqueous substances are dissolved in a different chemical compound than they themselves are composed of, so we need to find a way to isolate our dissolved substance. We'll come back to that in just a bit, but for now, let's look at solutions in a bit more detail. Solutions are composed of two parts, one solvent and one or more solutes. Solvents are the liquid that particles are being dissolved in. For our purposes, this will almost always be water, but organic chemists often use ethanol as a solvent as well. Ethanol can dissolve a lot of substances water cannot, and vice versa. Solutes, on the other hand, are particles being dissolved. Commonly dissolved in water are ionic compounds such as salt or copper chloride, acids like hydrochloric or sulfuric acid, and bases like sodium hydroxide. Having more than a single chemical compound is a necessary part of a solution, but it complicates calculating the number of moles present for any given substance. We need a way to measure the amount, or concentration, of our dissolved substances in order to convert to moles. There are two major ways of measuring concentration, and unfortunately, whoever named them did not see a problem in only changing one letter. The two major ways are called molarity and molality. We'll look at molality in detail in the next video, but for today, let's focus on molarity. Molarity measures the number of moles of a dissolved substance per 1 liter of solution. This means that the units are moles of the solute per liters of the solution. The reason for this distinction will be more obvious when we look at molality. Molarity is written with a number followed by a capital M, where the number indicates the number of moles per liter. A solution of 1 molar hydrochloric acid has 1 mole of HCl per liter of solution, while a 6 molar solution would have 6 moles per liter. Let's try using molarity to do some conversions. So this first question asks us how many moles of HCl are present in 500 milliliters of 4 molar aqueous hydrochloric acid. Now, we know that we have 4 moles per 1 liter. That's what our molarity tells us. The question is how many moles are actually present with 500 milliliters. So we start with 500 milliliters, and we need to convert that to liters. So 1 liter per 1,000 milliliters. So we have 0.5 liters. We then use our molarity, which is 4 moles per 1 liter. The liters will cancel. We'll end up with 2 moles of HCl. The second one asks, how many moles of copper chloride are present in 2 liters of 6 molar copper chloride? Now in this case, it gives us our units in liters, so we don't need to do any conversion to start. We have 2 liters, and we've got 6 moles per 1 liter. Liters cancel, and we're left with just 12 moles. So converting that way is actually pretty simple, but it gets a little bit more complicated when we have to determine the molarity. So in this case, we have 3 moles per 250 milliliters. Now, we're going to want to convert this milliliters into liters. So we'll do 1,000 milliliters per 1 liter. Milliliters cancel. And we are left with 3,000 moles per 250 liters. Now that's not terribly helpful. We need to divide both sides by this 250. And when we cancel those out, we're going to end up getting 12 as our molarity. So that'll be 12 moles per 1 liter. Let's take a minute to review. Aqueous substances are substances that are dissolved in a solution. Solutions are composed of a solvent and 1 or more solutes. Solvents are the liquids that dissolve the solutes, which are usually solids, but can be gases or even other liquids. Molarity is a way of measuring the concentration of a solute in solution and uses the units moles of solute per liter of solution. This allows us to convert from liters of solution directly to moles of our dissolved substance. That's it for today's video, and I'll see you next time.